Hi everyone, my name is Antonio Osinski and you are watching Traveling with Gui. Today I've come here in London to visit the HMS Belfast, a warship that was used during the Second World War. So keep watching, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done this yet. If this is your first time watching Traveling with Gui, hit the like button, send this content and share with your family, friends, your dog, your cat and your neighbor, and let's just enjoy the ride.
It was the biggest day of my life, no doubt about it. I've never seen anything like it. There were boats everywhere, thousands of them. We went to action stations early on.
Here they explain a little bit of the history behind HMS Belfast, which was born in 1938 and it was launched in Belfast in Northern Ireland. 1 year later, the Second World War was declared. Hence, the ship returned to action in 1942, and the final battles in the Second World War were fought in 1944. In 1950, they had the war in Korea, and in 1952, it marked like the final years at the sea. They returned home in 1963, and in 1971, the ship arrived on the River Thames here in London to become a museum. HMS Belfast was launched on St. Patrick's Day, 17 March 1938 by Anne Chamberlain, the wife of then Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain, and spent 25 years in active service. Do you guys know what night hats means in a warship? Surprise, it means toilet. A really comfortable one for a crew of 1,000 people in the HMS Belfast. This was their chapel, because as it's written here, everyone in the crew had their well-being and spiritual needs. So, and here you can have an idea, take a look. Not really big, of course, because it's a warship, but maybe enough for what they needed. Being here, we have an idea of how many engineers and all the structure they needed to make this ship sail. And it's really amazing to see, because when you see a ship or a boat or anything, we don't imagine how much work they need to deliver in order for things to work. So it's a really nice visit, and another one that I really recommend here in London. This room here reproduces their butchery, where they had all the meat for 1,000 sailors in the HMS Belfast. And as they say here, with 1,000 people in the ship, the HMS Belfast produced food on an industrial scale, because they needed to feed everyone, and during the war, and they had to have like quality food, especially if they could afford. And that's the kitchen. This is the bakery room to produce all the bread, enough bread to feed all the sailors and the crew of HMS Belfast. And here they say that in 1939 they put 18 tons of flour, which is enough to make 72,000 birthday cakes.
Vem, cara, pra alimentar todo mundo, tem que ser bom pra caralho.
This is the room here in the HMS Belfast where their senior ratings would live. So we can notice that there isn't much space. Comfort was something they didn't have in a warship. So this is where they would live and sleep when they were sailing. This is the well-equipped sick bay of the HMS Belfast, which had a sergeant commander and 2 sergeant lieutenants. All casualties were treated on board.
How are we feeling this morning?
Much better, sir, thank you.
That's good to hear. We'll need to room for stitches today. Please.
It was quite a challenge to go through the stairs of HMS Belfast, I have to say. Alright guys, is everyone ready to feast? Let's come. We have some mashed potatoes, some french fries or chips as they say in the UK, some sausage, some pie, I don't know, whatever, nobody cares. Some sausage roll maybe. Let's enjoy dinner.
Quem dirigiu o navio não vê nada. Força
One of the most famous moments in the Second World War was the invasion of Normandy, known for everyone as the D-Day, which happened on the 5th of June 1944, and the HMS Belfast was the leading ship for this invasion. The captain would stay in the upper deck, giving instructions or orders for the person who would be here, steering the ship and trying to make sure that the ship, the HMS Belfast, would follow a proper path.
Let's see, familiar.
Course 80!
Vai?
Vai aonde?
Pra esquerda, isso.
Where should I go?
Stop. Vai pra direita.
Let's see how you did. Excellent! We are now in open water approaching Normandy coast. Perfect. Course 120!
Rápido, Guilherme. Pô, tá dando bomba, caralho. Rápido, mano. Cara, vem pra esquerda, senão vai muito. Muito,
Course 85!
Go, 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 go. Maintain my Germans. Go, 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 go. Guilherme, para. É muito, velho. Nossa, mãe, meu Deus do céu. Deu.
Course 80!
Mais rápido, Guilherme.
Let's see how you did in the fleet. Able seaman.
Great job.
Full. The hoists and the 2 circular loading platforms in the shell room and magazine deck.
During the invasion of Normandy, the HMS Belfast spent 33 days in that coast and fired over 5,000 shells, like these ones we are seeing here.
600 projectiles, excluding practice rounds. A crew of 9 were responsible for inserting the fuses in the projectiles and transferring them to the power-operated carousel, which revolved around the shell.
Many veterans believe the HMS Belfast was the first one to open fire during the D-Day, but actually, according to the diary of Lieutenant Peter Brooks Smith, another vessel, more to the west, opened fire 3 minutes earlier. the upper deck of the HMS Belfast. In spite of all the structure that we have seen, the vibration of HMS Belfast guns fired during the D-Day cracked the crew's toilets. This is the captain's office, where the captain of HMS Belfast would stay to lead the ship during the Second World War and afterwards as well. The ship is one of only 3 surviving bombardment vessels from the D-Day, along with destroyer USS Laffey and the USS Texas. Sadly, my friends, that's a wrap on today's video in this really special tour in the HMS Belfast here in London. I hope you have loved another one here in Traveling with Guy, my YouTube channel. If you have, please don't forget, of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done this yet. Share this content with your family, your friends, your dog, your cat and your neighbor. Hit the like button as well, and I promise to be back soon, okay? I'll see you soon, guys, and cheers!